This is Luke chapter 3 and verse 11. He answered and said unto them, He that had two coats, let him impart to him that had none, and he that had meat, let him do otherwise. In the NLT, John replied, If you have two shirts, give one to the poor. If you have food, share it with those who are hungry. I give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Kakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and the salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Rai Banyamyan, here to share another lesson. This one will be called Many More Will Follow the Road to Homelessness. Found an article about homelessness is on the rise. This particular article, it talks about homelessness, I believe in Sacramento in the West Coast in California. But from what I've seen, driving around, it's every major city, and it is being spilled over in the rural areas, causing more Edomites to move into Jake neighborhoods in the cities where housing a little bit more attainable. So I'm gonna visit the article real quick. Source is CBS Sacramento Channel 13. All right, and see when it was posted on the 29th, which was yesterday. All right, so I read the article, share some scriptures in between, and play the video at the end. It's a short read, so it shouldn't be too long. All right, so Sacramento, CBS 13. People who live near downtown Sacramento freeways say the homeless camps are getting bigger. Meanwhile, they are saying that the economy is getting stronger and stronger. But if that was the case, these encampments there and around the country, you won't be seeing, it getting bigger. More people and even women are joining the homeless ranks. Before I used to see more men doing it, but there's more women and young women in their 20s and 30s and stuff, doing it as well. It says, continuing on, it says, this is worse. This is the worst it's been, said Morgan Kelly, who lives near an encampment. Caltrans crews have swept the homeless from state property in the area before, forcing campers to pick up their belongings and move somewhere else. It's probably clear for maybe a week to a month at the most, and then they start creeping back in, Morgan said. Yeah, that's particularly do most people when they are displaced, they move within 10 to 15 miles from the home, so they probably know the area and how safe it is, and isn't likely to venture into somewhere that they don't know. Continuing on, Cartran says these encampments put public safety at risk and create a danger for drivers. A fire last February was started in a camp under Highway 50 and forced the temporary closure of the on and off ramps. So it's likely they use the fire as heat, and to stay warm at night. Continuing on, it says now a new legal ruling could allow the state to permanently ban the homeless along highway right of ways. I'm happy to hear that there might be some solutions, Morgan said. A previous Ninth Circuit Federal Court's appeal decision had prevented authorities from forcing the homeless on public property to leave unless there was enough shelter space to accommodate them. They have nowhere to go. said Mark Marin, an attorney and advocate for the homeless. Now, the same court has released a new decision based on a case in Berkeley that clears the way for Caltrans to remove encampments that create a safety hazard along the highways. It's a ruling that homeless advocates oppose. They're taking this as a precedent, but they realize that it's one thing to say people shouldn't be there, Marin said. It's another to actually effectively police the areas that are under their control. They spend the money to clear them out and it's not going away. Yeah, because like they said earlier, they leave for a few weeks or a week to a month, and then they come back when things cool down, or the law enforcement not patrolling the area like that. But the more they do that, the people is gonna vent elsewhere. Now I've seen some camps, dissipate in some places, but then you would see a few homeless people that would sleep outside and let's say have a wawa or something like that. Or you might see them walking in circles at the entrance of one of these food establishments, you know what I mean? In spots. So even though the encampments are, disappearing, so to speak, in different areas, these individuals they are seeking, refuge elsewhere where there's food and grocery locations. So it may look on paper that they are disappearing, right? And that's one of the tricks they might use to say well, homelessness is ending. But no, these people they're branching out in and around different food settlements, But I just want to take a break from the article real quick and visit what Paul sent to a letter to the Philippines in Philippi, right? Um, yeah, so like I said, I just want to read what the letter Paul sent to Philippi, to the Philippines, you know. It's Philippians 4. I'm going to read up to 12. So even the Apostle Paul knew what it was to not have, So it says, I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need, So these things it happen, to the disciples and but the Lord took care of them. Some of them were well off, you know, and some of them were of need, but the Most High took care of them, and as He took care of them, He would take care of us also. You know what I'm saying? In the NLT, it says, I know how to live on almost nothing or with everything. I have learned the secret of living in every situation, where it is with a full stomach or empty with plenty or a little, you know what I mean? So in the coming days, the current living situation or lifestyle, as they say, is gonna decrease for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? They already talk about people cutting the leisures like television prescriptions and people where people would go out once or twice a week, for a dinner event or whatever, and they just completely cut the thing out and they buying the raw materials at the grocery and cooking it in their house now, something that a lot of Americans were not doing like that. You know what I'm saying? So people is definitely feeling the pinch, and that a lot of people are just a few paychecks or a sickness, a injury or something away from being homeless. You know what I'm saying? This is why we ought to fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and thank Him each day for health and strength. When you get up, you thank Him. You pray, read the Bible before you go to bed. You pray, read the Bible, and thank Him because it's that pride, man. He can knock you down a couple of pegs from your pride. You know what I'm saying? One minute you'll be, good, up and going, and next minute It mightn't take it don't even have to take an accident for him to draw it down, you know what I'm saying? It could be anything, man, and before you know it, you're on the street, living below a bridge, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, these things are gonna happen for your sake, to help build us for the times of Jacob's trouble, because ain't nobody really gonna be in the same living situation, just waiting on Jacob's trouble until them chariots and them arrive, you know what I mean? We're gonna go through some testings and trials, you know what I'm saying? But Esau Edom is very wicked. There's a commandment in Leviticus which talks about leaving something behind for the poor. You understand? But this is not a righteous kingdom. The rulers of this kingdom is wicked. I'm gonna visit that real quick in Leviticus 23 and it says meat offering. Yeah, in 22 it says, "And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field when thou reapest." So you ain't supposed to, share the whole thing, like pick the whole thing and, for yourself to clean it, to consume it, so like here, all right? Neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor. So even like some that drop, you know what I mean? You're supposed to take everything. It says you're supposed to leave it, unto the poor, unto the stranger. It says, I am the Lord your God. I read in the NLT, it says, when you harvest the crops of your land, do not harvest the grain along the edges of your field, and do not pick up what the harvesters drop. See, leave it for the poor and the foreigners living among you. I am the Lord your God. So with this commandment in place, it left some behind where people won't have food. So one of the things that motivate people to fight uh, is and commit crimes is food. You know, you could do without a lot, but food and water is you can't do without that for a long period of time. So this commandment in Leviticus 23 and 22, it kept the poor from food and the foreigners from going into crimes. You know what I'm saying? So everything tied in into Esau wicked system. There's no relief in place for the poor, right? So what is there for you? The prison system, which is another unlawful thing because you will judge by the crime that you committed, right? And in the homosexual and in the it's like I said that, and in the prison system, you have the same sex business, um, you know, taking place, which is unlawful. So Esau rulership in this place has to go, man. Alright, so I'm gonna dive back in to this article, but Esau wickedness it trickled down uh, to uh to other things, man. It's like a system of wickedness that needs to be dismantled and destroyed, man. Let me see where I left off. All right, so it says they're taking this as a president, but they should realize that it's one thing to say people shouldn't be here, Marin said. It's another to actually effectively police the areas that are under their control. They spend the money to clear them out, and it's not going away. But California Governor Gavin Newsom has released a statement supporting the court's decision, saying in part, this is a welcoming ruling confirming that we don't have to let these dangerous conditions continue without taking urgent action. But then you're not doing anything. You remove the people, but then you're not doing anything to remedy the situation that prevents crime, drugs, and stuff. Um, after the removal of these people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. This man, he needs to go, man. We need the rulership of Yahweh Shai. So closing out, it says Caltron says it still plans to give the homeless at least 72 hours notice before camps are cleared, and they try to work with local providers to find a place for the campers to go. Man, with all the money that they are sending overseas and stuff, they could have easily fix the situation with the homeless, not only in that state but in this country. All right, but it was already bad. Like before, you would mostly find men that are homeless, and women that were homeless. They would have these shelters and stuff in place. But now, with a lot of people losing their jobs and being displaced, the system is being overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? So you have women joining these homeless camps. So, in the times to come, we will have to leave our places of residence, and it may be difficult to let go. This is why we need to pray and ask the Lord to remove the heaviness of the cares of this life, because when things get really hard, they're gonna use, the comforts that you are used to get you to take the MOTB. You gotta be willing to walk away. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna read I'm show the video real quick. But before I show the video, I'm gonna just bring up this last script here in the book of Haggai 1:6. And this applies to a lot of people right now. So pray and ask the Lord to whatever little money you're making, pray and ask the Lord to to bless it or stretch it, so that they could pay your bills, put food on your table, put food in your children's mouth, and also pray that the spiritual food that He provides, spiritual food where we endure all these testings and trials that we are about to go through really soon. This is Haggai 1:6. It says, "Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes." Right? So the inflation is killing a lot of people. A lot of people is frustrated and stuff right now, man. And the bug train is going to be filled very, very soon when this thing get worse and ramp up. Right now, they are encouraging people, to travel, go places, go all over. The weather is getting warm, but famine is taking place, homelessness is taking place. The rumors of war is happening, droughts, earthquakes in diverse places, the whole lot, man, the whole shebang. All right, so I'm going to play the video real quick and I'm going to end it out.
The way for officials to clear out homeless encampments, but not just any campsites.
Now we're talking about the ones we see along freeways. So now we're getting answers on what that means and why the green light given to Caltrans has some seeing red. People who live near downtown Sacramento freeway say the homeless camps are getting bigger.
This is the worst it's been.
Caltrans crews have swept homeless from this state property before, forcing campers to pick up their belongings and move somewhere else.
It's probably clear for maybe like a week to a month at the most, and then they start creeping back in.
Caltrans says these encampments put public safety at risk, creating a danger for drivers and problems like this fire last February that started in a camp under Highway 50 and forced the temporary closure of the on and off ramps. Now a new legal ruling could allow the state to permanently ban homeless along highway right-of-ways.
I'm happy to hear that there might be some solutions.
A previous Ninth Circuit Federal Appeals Court decision had prevented authorities from forcing homeless on public property to leave unless there was enough shelter space to accommodate them.
They have nowhere to go.
Now that same court has released a new decision based on a case in Berkeley that clears the way for Caltrans to remove encampments that create a safety hazard along highways. It's a ruling that homeless advocates oppose.
They're taking this as a precedent, but they realize that it's one thing to say people shouldn't be here. It's another to actually effectively police the areas that are under their control. They spend the money to clear them out, and it's not going away.
But Governor Newsom has released a statement supporting the court's decision, saying in part, "This is a welcome ruling confirming that we don't have to let dangerous conditions continue without taking urgent action." Caltrans says it still plans on giving homeless at least 72 hours notice before camps are cleared, and they try to work with local providers to find a place for the campers to go.
All right, there you go. Pray and ask the Lord to grant patience, all right, to grant understanding, and to also let go of this place, and to fear Him more and more and more each day. Because these things are coming, and it's gonna get worse as time go by. So this is your brother Arab and Yamian. I hope you edify. I say shalom.